Hey guys, just want to jump in here and tell you the video you're about to watch is actually a bunch of footage that I recorded throughout the week, and then I had some technical difficulties and lost a bunch of it. I was able to recover a few clips, and basically all it is getting prepared to go fight the Ender Dragon and doing a little bit of tidying up around the base. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you later. Alright, so in this clip here, we ended up finding a skeleton spawner right next to our armor/toolsmith villagers that we set up. And went down through there, we found a mending book, which is super amazing. And then kind of setting up, if you guys don't know how to set up a mob spawner, the simplest one I made here, basically you make, there's 4 blocks from every direction from the mob spawner. And then you dig that room out, so you're left with a 9x9 area. As you can see here, if it's open and exposed like this, you do have to fill in some of the wall and kind of just make it fit that 9x9 area, because that gives the most effective spawn rates. Which actually, in an earlier session of just playing around in the world, I was walking around and I found another skeleton spawner. So we'll have to see how close that one is to this one, because maybe we can unite them and have a double mob spawner, but I kind of doubt it because it's quite far under the caves. But anywho, as you can see here, we're just building this up and going about it. And you guys did notice, at some point I just make a chest and end up leaving the mending book in there. I know it's there and I'll come back for it. It was just kind of funny that it's there. And so we might actually just put that on our Silk Touch pickaxe, because our Silk Touch pickaxe is pretty darn good. So we'll just kind of get maybe another efficiency 4 pickaxe and put them in an anvil together so that they can become an efficiency 5 Silk Touch, because that's an amazing pickaxe. So now, after we have that 9x9 room, as you can see here, I'm going to end up digging down, I think, 3 blocks under the spawner, just to give it enough room for the water and everything. Oh, and then we have a little skeleton fight that I tried not to get in the middle of, kind of let them do their own thing, but I was hoping the guy with the enchanted bow would drop it, but he didn't. Easily took them out, and then just go back to clearing. So I'll take this moment here while I keep clearing out this room to tell you guys what had happened to the original files that I had. So outside of making videos, I'm in the IT field, and I was working on a project where I thought I had a virtual machine set up the whole time, which, if you guys don't know, it's a computer within a computer. And I was playing around with it for a test that I'm taking, and lo and behold, I was not on the virtual machine. And basically, I was learning to use a program to delete files from command prompt, and I was following the steps, yada yada yada. One thing led to another. I ended up clearing out an entire folder of just saved files. So I mean, documents that I've written and all the video recordings, you name it. I basically cleared a hard drive, which was unfortunate, but luckily for me, I was able to make it recover most of it. Unfortunately, I couldn't save the audio, and there's a lot more in these clips that we're not seeing. I did a lot of exploring too. We found a nice gravel hill, so we can build with concrete in our base, which actually I'll show you guys next episode. But yeah, so now I'm just kind of clearing out a way to get into this thing. That's just all I'm doing here, and I forgot a few supplies. And as if you guys saw, I put water in all 4 corners of the room so they come to a center point. This is where the skeletons are going to fall down and go down another bit of water, which leads to a water elevator. And now what I'm doing is digging up to level 75, I think is what I end up at. And basically at this height, if a skeleton was to fall down, it would become 1-hit kill. And what that does is basically helps you make an EXP farm. Because once all the skeletons fall down, you just end up swiping your sword, boom, 1 hit, they're all dead. And as you saw there, I made a pillar. This is going to help you out in the future for any of you guys that decide to make any mob farms. If you just dig up a pillar like I did, you can just dig straight down, and then you'll have your tube, in which you'll fill with water, which I'll do here in just a moment. And it'll help you make it your elevator, so you don't have to sit there and put source after source after source of water. And then as you see here, I'm going to put down another stream of water, which is going to carry the skeletons down to the collection spot that they're going to fall into. And since we already know what level the shaft was where the skeletons come up, we just have to dig back down to that, clear out a nice little room, and this is the killing spot. So those skeletons will fall down that tunnel that I just dug out, and they'll just be one hit kill, and then we collect all their stuff. So yeah, now we're just going to dig back up, basically where I can get back to the spawner. See, easiest way to make a farm. I do make a few mistakes here in just a moment. I forget to place some water and a few other things, so just take a second. So now what we're going to do is we dig out that tunnel, and now I'm going to go back up to the surface and basically just dig down that dirt tower that I made originally. So, oh, of course, my OCD was driving me nuts with that stair. And here I am. I don't think I cleared the tunnel quite yet, and so I was like, what's going on here? So it was a little preemptive. Then I forgot my chests and hoppers. That's basically what this is going to do. Is this going to collect the bones and the arrows and bows that they drop? Oh, I guess I didn't save the clip of me building the tower. But anyways, that dirt tower that I originally dug up, you just fill that with water, put some soul sand at the bottom, and then that makes the skeletons shoot up and then go down the water and then fall, and boom, as you can see, one hit kill. So yeah. This next clip here is now, I'm actually moving villagers into this house that we built. That was actually a big part of the episode that I recorded, was me building this house. And our villager breeder is working phenomenally, as you can see. I think there's 3 or 4, there's like 6 villagers, I think, in there. And so I'm like, oh, heck yeah. So we start moving these guys in here. And what I ended up doing is I made this blacksmith and toolsmiths, as you'll see here in just a moment. Basically, our 3 iron farm cells that we have been producing so much iron, guys. So much iron. I think now I have a single chest full of just iron blocks. And that was just from one farm going. And now we have 3 cells of it. So it's quite a lot. So I decided to build this big house here and just basically put a bunch of villagers in here that will buy the iron. But at first I had to do a lot of caving. So I was hoping to have saved that footage too, because I was going to do a little montage of it. But oh my gosh, guys, there was so much coal. We ended up going to that desert village that we found, and we went in the mesa biome and kind of went exploring in there. Found a little bit of gold, but we were just in there for coal. And oh my gosh, guys, by the end of this, I ended up with stacks of just coal ore because I used my Silk Touch pickaxe, and I came home, used the fortune, and sold all of it. So we made lots of stonks, as the kids say. So let's go ahead here, just finishing up getting these villagers in here. And let me tell you, it's not the funnest thing to do, but if you build a villager breeder like this and you can just cart villagers right where you need them, it makes the process so much simpler, let me tell you. First, I was a little hesitant because villagers and players don't get along very well because they have their own AI and just want to run around and cause trouble. Oh, weird little fact. If you see out of the corner of your eye, there's another creeper in a boat. And if you guys remember, we had one at one point and I tried to get close to it and it blew up. But this one is becoming a permanent friend. So I'm going to try to find a way to keep him in there and try to like build like a glass dome around him. Make him kind of like a pet. But then as you see here, what I'm doing is I put up the door and then I put some spruce trap doors. So basically I can come in and they can't get out. But that turned out to be a huge mistake. And that's where we also lost the footage there. So we basically did all that. And then now I'm just setting up this giant farm. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these carrots to trade with farmers for emeralds in the future, as well as I set up a giant wheat field because I want to start using mud bricks for a few buildings. And where you get packed mud is with wheat. So this is me setting up this big old farm. It's going to be very temporary because I have a base, which I meant to show. And again, so sorry I lost the footage, but I have found the place for our main mega base, I guess you could call it. It's not really a mega base, but it's going to be where we move all of our stuff. So all these farms, like I said, this area is going to be for redstone farms and iron farms and creeper farms, those kind of things, right? But this base that I'm building is where we're going to store everything, and it's just going to be like our place, right? So here I'm just kind of filling out the rest of this dirt and yada, yada, yada. And now here's the planting, just so you guys can see how massive of a field this is. I use all of the seeds that I have, and I didn't even get halfway filled. Like, this thing is so big. We're going to have so much wheat that we're going to build so much mud bricks. So I'm thinking I want to incorporate them in our main base, because mud bricks are one of my favorite blocks that were introduced, but it's kind of a pain because you have to have a lot of wheat. So hence the giant farm, in which I want to build like an automatic wheat farm at some point, because those are just nice to have in general. But here we are. Look at this. All gone. So I'm like, oh crap. Do I have more? I had 6. I had 6 more seeds. Boom. Still didn't even get like all the rows done. Then just was like, oh, maybe we need to expand it. Because on these sides where I'm expanding, I want to add potatoes to sell as well. Because we want to make so much. I want to have an emerald beacon, iron beacon, diamond beacon, gold beacon, and possibly netherite. Not going to guarantee the netherite one, but. So we just had to kind of expand. And oh my gosh, guys. Here we are now. We're going to do some enchanting. What I ended up doing was just buying some diamond armor off of those villagers. They didn't have any good enchants, so I was like, oh, well, let's go down here. I grindstoneed them, got some levels by trading and using our skeleton farm, and just enchanted. So we get an Unbreaking 3 chestplate, an Protection 4 Unbreaking 3 helmet, which is amazing. We get, I think, Depth Strider and Protection 3. And then we get Unbreaking 3, Protection 4 leggings. So we are pretty close to pretty beefy armor. So we're going to end up just trading with these villagers and going to the skeleton farm a lot so that we can get so much better enchantments. Because we're going to, this diamond set, we're going to use to fight the Ender Dragon next episode. So we want to make sure we get a few more good enchants before. So as you guys can see, that wasn't even the bulk of the iron that I have. When I tell you I have a lot more, I'll have to show you next episode. It is so much. And then I ended at this little entrance over here because the villagers kept trying to open that door and I don't know how to fix it. So I really wanted the aesthetic, so I just made myself a side entrance. And basically all I do here now is I just trade as much iron as I possibly can to get more levels to re-enchant my chest plate one more time. Yeah, so I would like you guys to let me know how this narration turned out, because this is the first time I've ever tried it. And honestly, just I'm going to leave the audio as it is, how I told it. And yeah, it's kind of cool. I like this. This new video editing program that I'm using has it, which is VideoPad by NCH Software. If you guys are interested, it's really cool. And it's really nice. It's got a lot of features, even just in the demo version. I just have the free version for now. But yeah, it's amazing. And then here we go. So then we just get one last enchant. And yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And I'll see you soon. Bye.